Welcome to Student Faculty Development Program on Role of Engineer in Uplifting the Industry Imposed COVID-19 Lockdown in India. This program is brought to you by Department of Mechanical Engineering of Sandeep Foundations, Sandeep Institute of Engineering and Management, Nasik. Before starting the session, first introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Nilesh Pawar. Mr. Nilesh Pawar is a training and placement officer of Bhosla Military School, Nasik. He is associate in Puja Training Center. Till this time, Mr. Pawar trained more than 1,000 students in industrial prospects. He is well-known person when training is concerned. So let's start hearing Mr. Nilesh Pawar.
I, Nilesh Pawar, welcome you all in today's session of 5 days faculty development program organized by Sandeep Institute of Engineering and Management, Nashik. I am very thankful to the organizing committee members for this opportunity. Due to this only, now I am talking in front of you. Firstly, I will introduce myself. I am Nilesh Pawar. I have completed my BCS, MBA, BCom, MCom, NET and PhD in Internet Marketing. So you can see, as I am no way connected with the field called engineering. But yes, from last 4 years, I am associated with the firm called Puja Industries Training Center, which is a subsidiary of a proprietary firm, Puja Industries, where we are training, teaching and imparting the engineering students with new technologies of industry. And I am very proud to say that we have trained more than 1,000 students up to yet. My topic of this session is approach of faculty and post-corona colleges. Nowadays, we are all facing problems due to lockdown. I hope you all are safe and happy. I hope this situation get over as soon as possible. We all of us missing our classroom lectures, and of course it will be very important responsibility we have as a teacher that we need to impart our student with a course material. At this particular time, regular classes has been suspended and we all need to resolve a solution, and online classes are definitely one such solution. E-learning poses a challenge to both teachers and students over technology and access, but it is keeping everyone busy with the regular spreadsheet, video lectures and assignments. So, what is the solution? Some institutions are uploading lectures to YouTube, whereas the Kendriya Vidyalay Sangathan is developing its own Swayam Prabha portal, which has lectures on DTH and online to help their regular students. You can take example of Andhra Pradesh, whereas Andhra Pradesh is trying to tap Doordarshan to remove some access barriers, so they can directly connect via Doordarshan with the students. Some institutions have adopted the Zoom app, Facebook Live app, Google Meet app, other Google Classroom, etc. Yet the instructors are unable to say how effective they are, and not every student is tuning in. So the next thing is that how we can go in education sector as a faculty, what we can see how the future will be. So no doubt digital is the future, and now we will talk about how the post-COVID future and what will be the future circumstances after the post-COVID. As coronavirus has fractured a large chunk of the world's education system, college, university, and school exams are cancelled or postponed due to the spread of the virus. The virus has affected more than 157 crore students across 191 countries. 191 countries. Over 91% of students are affected due to this lockdown across the globe. Not only students, but millions of teachers are also affected due to this closure or lockdown. Online classes are held during this period through education portals and various platforms. But many challenges have taken up creative lessons for the students. Not much assessments happening at primary level, but more support is given to the students. How students feel or what they are going through this lockdown need to be worked through, and teachers need to consider it. The structure of education and learning, including teaching and assessment methodologies, oral pedagogy, was the first to be affected by this closure. Only a handful of private colleges or institutes could adopt online teaching methods. The COVID-19 pandemic is said to change the world sooner than what we actually knowing. The way our government, institutions, organizations and people think and function will radically change, perhaps for the long or longer term. What institutions or whereas with institutions closed and regular classes on hold during this lockdown period, online or digital learning has emerged as the most viable, vital tool for educators looking to ensure that the pandemic impact on their learners' academic progress should be minimized. That means they are trying to minimize it, but there is a severe short-term disruption around the globe. Not everyone is capable to cope up with the situation now. Homeschooling is a huge challenge, not only for the teachers but parents also. Certainly, all the learning and socializing have shifted from offline to online, manual to digital. We need to develop a new way to manage our time. Teachers have to bring some creative ways to teach their student, that how they can teach their student, as we know that it is not possible to engage students online. In latter part we will see what are the challenges, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, but yes, it is not that much easy to engage students online. It's high time to adopt technology in teaching, and how we can adopt this technology in teaching we will see. Now we will see what are the benefits of going online, as now all we are compelled as a professors, as a teachers, that we must go online. So what first we will see what are the advantages of going online. As we all know that it provides a ample of flexibility. At any time, any point of time, we can connect with the students. At any point of time, the course material will be available. So flexibility can be given to the students as well as to the professors. Increased flexibility of location. That means at from any point of the time, we can connect with the students from any location. That means all students will be at their home and we will be at our own location. Still we can connect them with online, and the time which goes in traveling or due to in other activities, that can be reduced. Up to the context we can teach to the students online. That means no other stuff we want to talk, just point to point communication will be there with the students, and we can share the information which is most appropriate, which is most relevant to the students. We can enrich the student with our experience online. We can students can also access, and a student can also get the contents online where they will be more flexible, or when they will be free. And no doubt, due to the increased digital literacy, everyone is able to cope with the technology by the way of mobiles, laptops, desktop computers, and tablets. All are all the way connected with the technology. So it is not the problem of technology or student. As far as the engineering students or faculties are concerned, that are nowadays everyone is able to handle the nowadays Android or smartphone. So that way we can connect with the students. So these are the advantages of going online. That means how we can deliver the contents to the students, no way online. And can we go online? Yes. So these are the benefits of online. But along with the online teaching advantages, there are many more disadvantages also. So what are the disadvantages of online learning or online teaching that we will see? First one, not every students, or rather than I say, not all students might have laptops or tablet computers. They may have a single laptop or single tablet computer at their home, but since the whole family is at home, the only laptop or computer which is in their house might be used by the parents or their brothers, their ancestors, who are working from home as well. While smartphones are the next best feasible option, because everyone is having a smartphone, everyone is having a Android phone. Some other disadvantages are, few teachers might not have technical knowledge. They may have some technical constraint. Yes, we can use smartphone for watching movie, reading some news, but we are not that much that much techno savvy that we can use mobile for delivering lectures online. There are various apps, those who are too much technical, and sometimes few colleagues may find problem while using this gadgets, technical gadgets. The teachers are equipped to take classes, but some might not be the case for some institutions or some professors. Going forward, I will say that all institutions will have to chalk out an infrastructure plan, that they have to create this infrastructure plan by which they can provide that kind of infrastructure by which professors will provide a online solution or online lectures to their students. Another option, another disadvantage which we can facing, that unlike the regular student attendance, many students are bunking online classes also. So it will be very difficult that we have to secure 100% students attendance. If we will connect the students via Zoom app, students may attend a Zoom app meeting, but it is very difficult to find that they are actually listening or not. Yes, they are connected, yes, they have enrolled, but how we can ensure that they are actually listening? Empathic listening will be the problem. And second problem will be there, that how we can see, how we can get that they must enroll. It might happen that due to connectivity problem, due to technical problem, due to other reason, they are not attending the online lectures. Another option which we can chalk down, that we can provide the contents online, and according to as per their leisure time they can access it. But how we can ensure that they are actually attending, actually accessing that material? No doubt in our solution section I will tell you how we can go for the solutions. But this is the major problem which we are facing or we may face. Many parents could be heard talking in the background while when we are delivering lectures online, while in the classroom. It is very distracting. We are, or everyone is listening their domestic choral. An entire domestic choral could be heard while a student's home. Some parents don't use that mute button, and if we are muting them from our side, they may unmute from their side, or sometimes we are forced to keep them unmute because we are in a group meeting, or we are debating, we are talking on some particular issue. So it will be very difficult for us to choke up with this kind of problems. And sometimes they are online, and but we can see their whole family drama, that someone is sitting in their room, someone is watching TV, someone is cooking, someone is moving around behind them. So due to small family, they may face some problems. For education institutions that are not so used to this kind of digital world, it will be very difficult for them to choke up with this kind of problems. And as a professors, we have to face this kind of problems. Most, as far as engineering is concerned, most of the subjects are too practical. So it is not possible that we will tell them and they will learn practical subjects. Like all subjects are practical, but mechanical, computer, chemistry, civil, where we have to deliver the practical, where we have to actually show the students how they can do it. So we cannot provide the hands-on or online. Then it will be a major problem for them. How to train them online? This will be the major drawback or major limitation which we have to see in future, which we have to face in future. Few institutions tried the online mode but gave up after realizing that not all students have access to laptops, and mobiles are having their own limitations. On laptop you can show more things or more stuff, but on mobile there are limitations, because due to the size, it has 5 or 6 inches size, on which you cannot explore too much things. Just like, suppose I am a teacher, I am a professor who is teaching students how to use Google Classroom, then it will be very difficult them to see how they can use Google Classroom online. So that will be the problem which we have to face in future. Also, one limitation is that students would have to type, write and scan their doubts and then send them as a PDF file through the app. Then in later part later on we can tackle and we can solve their problems. So it will be the lengthy proportion, because in online lecture, no doubt we will have a one-way communication. We cannot always permit students to talk back. So when they will have a question, then to solve that questions will also be a problem, because it will be a lengthy procedure sometimes, that how they can give their give what you can say, they can raise their doubts. No doubts, in our solution part I will tell you the solution, how they can go for the how we can go for the solution. Also, some lecturers said that they were struggling with the technology, as students played music or ran audio clips of cookery classes during lectures. It might happen that they may enroll themselves for the Zoom app or Google Classroom or Google Meet, but along with that they may do multitasking. They may play a game. They may watch online video. They may play YouTube videos. So it will be very difficult for us as a professors how to solve these problems, how to cope up with the situation, how to find the solutions on these problems. Yes, no doubt in solution part I will also cover this topic. Also, recent graduates in India are fearing withdrawal of job offers, as due to the current situation people are losing their jobs. Unemployment ratio, which was 8.4 previously, now that will go up to 23%. These are the central government's unemployment ratios as far as the technical people are concerned. Apart from that, there are some other problems also, as we may teach them, but we cannot we can educate them, but we cannot impart the skill, impart that hands-on practical which is actually required for the students. Also, self-discipline, plagiarism, which material we are sharing with them, if that is copyrighted material, that will be the limitation for us. If we are giving some assignment to the students and students are copying that assignment, that will be the major problem, because it will be very easy for the students to copy and paste and submit the assignments online, because that will be the plagiarism. As we all know that if we are giving any assignment to the students, what they do, they just copy and paste the materials from different sources, and they put that material and they show that this is their own material, and we are also unable to find out the plagiarism, as the plagiarism is drastic. So we have to train the students, or rather than our faculty members also have to find this difficult to how to provide the material to the student which is having a Creative Commons license. That means the material which is free, copyright free. That means the material which is available on open educational resources which is not copyrighted. So we have to face this problem, that how to identify and classify this kind of material from the different sources. Cheating is cheating will be very common in online classes, as I already told that they may enroll, but they may switch their mode by putting their video off, and they may simply keep their mobile aside, and they may do their regular task. So it will be very important for us as a professors, that how we can find out this kind of frauds, this kind of cheating, and how to tackle with them. As all students will be isolation, as we as a professor will deliver the lecture from a separate different platform or separate different physical environment, and student will access that material from a completely different physical environment. So it will be our task, it will be our duty to cope up with the situation, to cope up with the things. So these are the drawbacks, or rather than we can say these are the limitations on which we as a professors or we as a colleges have to face after COVID. Then what will be the solution? What will be the solutions? Or we may think that these problems will have a solutions. Yes, if there is a problem, there will be a solution. Then what will be the solutions. Now we will see. Now we are entering into the last topic of our session, that what will be the solutions. Now we will see the solutions. It is very difficult to engage the students for effective learning. The good news is that the mainstream institutions are willing to move online, and there's a possibility of habit changing to enable education 4.0. There are various and multiple platforms which are offering high discounts on various courses and many classes which are even being conducted for free. As a result, virtual classes and online learning have suddenly become the norm instead of novelty. Even as conventional models are reshaped to make learning more personalized, engaging, and interactive. Open source digital learning solutions and learning management software should be adopted so teachers can conduct teaching online. Well, you will need to understand what is important to you, to your college, and what are your facilities, which facilities are provided by college, and what kind of instruments are available with your learners and students. That means the overall infrastructure which is available. The best way to do this is to first brainstorm with key stakeholders on what you are really want to deliver and what amazing learning experience you actually expecting from the students. I will suggest creating a list of features that you need absolutely must have, along with a list of features that are just only nice to have. That means the important feature which you are expecting from the software which you are going to choose versus the software which is available or which you are already using. You can then start comparing some of the virtual classroom softwares, the options available, and where you can land up. Once you narrow down the list, you can reach out to the company and try out their virtual classroom software. Many are free. It is incredibly important to test on your preferred virtual classroom software before making any decisions. Though online courses offer a great and many benefits, they are not right for every student. Even though this isn't quite the same, the student interaction you would have with other students in a physical classroom setting. Some students simply learn better in a collaborative setting than they do their own. That means it is up to us that which software actually we have to choose. Also, I have prepared one 5-point system, then which we can use to see how we can engage our students for effective learning. One thing is that we have to give them written assignments in the form of short research papers or articles, which will be very beneficial. Then students will collect the related information. We have to engage students in live projects. Not only the copy and paste material, we can tell them you have to do this, you have to do that way, this way. So live projects we can give, and also they will deliver the projects or live. Also, we have to see their presentation, how they can prepare the attractive presentations, and how we can make them more attentive via their presentation or via our presentations. Also, we can distribute the students in small group, and then it will be very easy for us to monitor them and to monitor their progress, and we can assign a small group leader to them for active involvement. If you will, we will divide them into groups, and we will assign one group leader. Then it will be very easy for us to make them involved, because individual student may not work. but in a group they may work. So by this way we can boost their enhancement and their engagement. While assigning a project, we have to see that project should be related to the interested topic and that should be the relevant one. And we have to keep in mind what kind of aptitude they are having and what kind of interest they possess. If some students are more concerned with the any particular topic or any particular field, then we must engage themselves according to that kind of projects. Also, engaging to the students online for effective learning, we have to see that they must complete their assignments timely. I will suggest that the assignment should be given to the students on Thursday. Yes, on Thursday, so that the students get time to work during their weekends. So when we will give the assignments, they will have a time of Saturday, Sunday. So on Saturday and Sunday they may work more properly, more appropriately on the topic, and they deliver a good solution. Also, some specific interfaces in the Google Classroom which will help the educators in keeping a tab on the assignment submission time. So suppose we have given an assignment to the students, so we can same time we can show them the score, what was the correct answer, what was the wrong answer. And if we will assign some particular time to that particular assignment, so it will be more easy for us that they may not what you can say access other sites. Suppose there is a 30 marks assignment, we have to give the 30 minutes time. So after that time the assignment submission time will go away. So by that what will happen, they have to stick up with their assignment submission page. They cannot go out of that page. Or sometime we may also later on when technology will change, we can see that they may cannot they will cannot change the what you can say slide or that particular page, but currently it is not available. So we can set the short time period by which we can keep them engaged and they will not churn out other pages. Also, we have to keep our rubrics very clear. What is mean by rubric? Rubric is mean that what kind of marking system we will have, what kind of contents they are sharing, what kind of answer we are expecting, and how they can submit the answers. That means the methodology which will indicate the achievement criteria across all components. If the students will know the methodology on which they will be graded on, they will gain the confidence and perform better, as they will know or they will be in a better position to access their grades. They will be in a better position to evaluate their points where they were not good. Also, the overall goal of rubrics is to teach students that learning is their responsibility and to encourage them to become a self-reflective. By showing them a clear rubric, we can achieve more student participation. If they will be known that on what topic they will be graded, on by which way they will be graded, it will be very easy and it will be very useful to keep them engaged. Also, there are 6 steps in bringing effectiveness in online education, which are suggested by Paul and Weller in 2014. Still they are relevant. What as a professor we have to do while delivering online lectures? We have to build a community by which we can deliver a good knowledge spread. Also, clearly outlining course expectation, that as we will teach them according to our syllabus, still on what topic we are teaching them, we have to set our clear expectations. Also, utilizing online tools for interaction. Suppose I am having a Google class. In that Google class, I can share a link of a particular YouTube video. The video which is very good, whose contents are very good and which are effective for the student. So I can go for effective online tool interaction, and just like in a team, what you can say, in a Zoom meeting, we can keep the discussion on. So we can keep the interaction on. In the middle of the class, we can ask a particular student that yes, you have to. We can ask the question and we can unmute him. So he has to respond. And if the students will come to know that sir may ask a question anytime, they will be more attentive. Also, we have to promote the exchange of ideas. We don't have to go one way. We have to go two way. We have to give the two-way communication by which we can promote their ideas also. Also, providing timely and relevant feedback will also important thing. If we have given the assignment, then student must attempt that assignments on that particular day, particular time. Giving a assignment according to leisure time is not will not give the fruitful results. Giving a timely assignment and submitting a timely assignment and giving the online grades which are visible to everyone will give the more fruitful results. Also, students' relevant feedback will be useful. We as a educator, we as a faculty member, by which we can enhance, increase our content. We can work upon our delivery. And last one, creating an environment that is more student centered. What students are expecting, what we are delivering. Are we delivering as per the expectations of student and what they expect, what they are expecting from the class and what we are delivering. So we have to keep in mind, as we are a teacher, we can talk on any topic at any point of time. But what topic we are talking, what student are expecting, we must talk on that particular topic. Apart from that, there are few solutions like Industry 4.0. We must work upon Education 4.0. Education 4.0 means what? We as a teacher must collect all the relevant material which is available, and we should deliver the students that particular material. As we are not capable in all, or we are not master in each subject, but online teaching gives us this flexibility that we can collect the material which is very relevant, appropriate and topic centered, and we can share that kind of material. But as I told you that it will be very time consuming. There are lot of material is available online, and we have to find out the material which is more student centric and more topic centered. For this we have to kiss many frogs. Give assignments. As I already told you, giving timely assignment, giving time bound assignment is very important, because what we are teaching, what students are getting, that should be tracked. Online it is very easy to copy paste assignment. So as a teacher we have to see, as a college we have to see, students are not just copy and pasting the assignments. We have to check the plagiarism, that students are not plagiarizing. If we are creating any material and we are putting it online, then that time also we have to create a creative common license for our material, so others should not change it, or others should not share it without our nomenclature. Also, moving in class courses to online delivery. We don't have to give the classes only, we have to deliver the contents online. What it means, in just like a classroom teaching, we are we are teaching and students are not responding. It should not be the case while online delivery. We have to deliver the contents, and we have to take the appropriate feedback from the students. As students may copy and paste the material, they may cheat. For that, we have to implement new grading system. The grading system which will cope up with the new online delivery. That means Google Classroom, we are having a assign type by which we can assign a different uh, projects, different materials, different topics to the different students, and we can track that how and when they have submitted, and on that basis we have to grade them. Also, on Google Classroom, we have to upload the documents, the videos, the audio clips, the quiz, the assignments on time to time basis, by which we can engage our students timely. As a teacher, as a faculty member, I will tell you that you must create your own MOOCs, massive open online courses. You can create your MOOCs, and I must tell you that while delivering the online classes, you must uh, copy your classes. That means you must record your classes, and that recorded material will be useful for you to create your own MOOC. When you will record your own videos with your course content, that will be useful for you both ways. One way, you can check where you were good and where what are your lacunae, where what are the areas where you are having discrepancies. And another thing is that what you can create these lectures, recorded lectures, for creating your MOOCs. Or you are having a same topic on 2-3 classes, then you can use your recorded video to share with that 2-3 classes. Also, you as a professor, you have to engage with your learners online. Delivering a online lecture will not be sufficient. You as a teacher, you have to engage your student. There are different ways by which you can engage, but you have to engage your learners. For that, you have to create a supporting learning environment. Student must feel that you are a teacher who can help them in their teaching, in their learning. And if that bonding will be created, student will be more close to you, and a student teachers teaching learning environment will be created. And I must tell you, this is the only thing which we required, because that bridge should be gap should be bridged, because we are missing a face-to-face meeting in this online thing. And when we will create this environment, that will be more beneficial for us to connect with them. Use a mix of learning tools for their better engagement. Many different tools are there, and many more are coming. As soon as we will go online, we will find many more softwares are there, many more ways are there by which you can engage them. And last one, provide ongoing feedback. Taking feedback and giving feedback, these are the two things. You have to take your feedback from the students, and also you have to give your feedback to the student. This is very important. So thank you very much. I am thankful to the organizing committee members for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you have enjoyed this 5 days faculty development program. Thank you very much.
Before starting the session, first introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Jayant Khadke. Mr. Jayant Khadke is a senior manager in Proof India Private Limited. He has nearly 20 plus years of experience in area of sourcing and vendorship development, supply chain management and production activities with 13 years. He is an excellent communicator with exceptional talent for problem solving through response thought process. So let's start hearing Mr. Jayant Khadke.
Good morning, friends. My name is Jayan Khadke. I am working in Proof India Private Limited as a senior manager, sourcing, global sourcing, and handling all the purchase activity as well as new development of components, toolings, and vendor development also. I want to share some views and some points to you for betterment of your success and future. I hope you will like it. You know, in this scenario, in these situations, we are facing lots of issue. We are facing lots of issue from Corona, and we are going through that. Now we have to fight with Corona jointly. So please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive, and keep distance. And most important, use your valuable time how to research your career in focused way. First scenario of industry is having many of challenges. Most important, survival. Finance perspective, customer requirements, labor manpower requirements, manpower required in low cost, as currently there are huge expenses and expenses are a higher side. So with respect to that, finally, competition is big task. So in this scenario, how you will act? You will stay safe. How you keep healthy and survival. It will be according to this. Now see, you have to be more focused. In each actions, you should have a deep analysis. Concentrations in your work is most important. Not to hesitate to ask any question to everybody. If you do not know, please ask. Success will be behind practice, practice, and practice. So this is the 3 stages, and more important, if there is critical situations is there, you have to have group discussions and required to conclude and go for a decision or conclusion. But before that, think twice and conclude. I will ask 2 questions to you, and you yourselves ask today. Do you want to continue working to live to adjust despite the challenges? And second, do you want to work at the same time, grow, develop, and flourish? There is huge difference between both the questions. Only one will lead you to your goals and to becoming a better version of yourself. First is surviving mode and second is thriving mode. Thriving mode is switch on by practicing Prema. P-E-R-M-A. Prema stands for 5 elements that accounts for what makes up the good life, authentic and sustained happiness and well-being. So for this, I will explain what is Prema. P stands for positive emotions, kindness, gratitude, hope, contentment. Second one, E stands for engagement and flow, being absorbed by a certain task and flow at the moment. Third, relationship, positive relationships, We are social being. We need to be connect with one another. Third one is M, meaning. Finding a purpose and meaning to our existence. And fifth one, accomplishment. A sense of achievement, having goals and meeting them. These are the most important. And start to think in structured way. You have to start to take decisions, but never take any decisions in your 4 stages, like not to take any decisions when you are happy. It may get wrong decisions. Second point, not to take any decisions when you are sad. Third, not to take any decisions when you are depressed. It may cause damage your life. In this case, you can listen the music 2-3 hours with deep concentration. Please note that. Listen the music, no song. And fourth one, not to take any decisions when you are angry. Why I am telling this? Because in all 4 cases, in this situation, immediate decisions may be wrong. So in all situations, you have to pass the time at least 3 to 4 hours. If possible, 1 day, and make your mind in peace and think twice and take your own decisions for your future actions. It will helps you always correct decisions 99%. As per my understanding, maximum focus way to move towards business in future for your growth. So think and prepare 10 to 15 business ideas. From that, select 3 better ideas and start the analysis. Write down those ideas in structured way. How to act, how to start along with the challenges and negative points along with the challenges, and also write down the negative points, how you will take the against to convert those in positive points. Actions, how you will face the challenges and solve it. Then you need to consult with technical persons related to the field and make your final project reports. After that, select your one idea from better 3 with your own decision, because it will be your dream. If there is a dream, definitely there will be a great success. Why I am telling you to do the business? Because in future there are big chances India will be a leader country for business activity, and many of foreign countries will invest in India for business. So why? Because India having a huge because India having a huge manpower, low cost country, and there are many points. So with respect to this, everyone is now looking towards India through business perspective. So this is the best time to select your profession in structured way. In this time, think twice and start your good future, and this is the great time to think on that. Thank you very much. Be happy, be safe, go Corona. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this session. We will come back to you with another session as per schedule. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.